Former Ku Klux Klan leader David Duke is running for Senate in Louisiana with Donald Trump as his running mate.
The only man the media hates more than Donald Trump is me. They hate Trump and me because we oppose the massive immigration that will destroy America. We vow to protect American jobs and industry. We defend our heritage. Trump even says we should say Merry Christmas instead of the PC garbage. The media says he sounds like me, but you know what? We both simply sound like you. Vote for Trump for president and David Duke for the U.S. Senate, and let's take America back.
David Duke was on stage for a United States Senate debate tonight. At Dillard University, a historically black university, David Duke reached the 5% polling threshold for being included in the debate by getting 5.1% in the polls. Debate organizers did not allow students, the general public, or journalists, anyone, into that auditorium for the debate, but protesters gathered outside to protest David Duke's presence. Here's what happened when the moderator tried to get David Duke to respond to a question about taxes.
Would you not interrupt me and give me my time?
Open discussion,
you're not. Look, you're not one of the debaters here. I'm sorry, Mr. Snell. You're the moderator.
Here's the deal.
You gave me a chance to rebut, and you're interrupting me.
Let me Federal prosecutors said, sir, that what you did, sir.
You see, you're not a moderator. You're a typical media.
All right, we're going to move on.
Well,
Mr. Fleming, go ahead. Your time,
silence me now? You're going to silence me?
Again,
you're going to prevent me from answering this question because you want to make a point? That's the problem in this country. The media is deciding who our candidates
are. Here's what prosecutors said. Mr. Duke, I get to answer. Okay, never mind.
You're a hypocrite.
Mr. Fleming, please, sir, go. You have the floor.
I was going to answer that question if you gave me the chance.
Mr. Fleming has the floor.
The truth is that anybody who stands up in this country and tells the truth what's happening to our country, we're losing our country. Anybody who does that is going to be a target of the media, just like Donald Trump.
All right, we've got to move on.
What's happening to Donald Trump.
Let's go to Mr. Fleming.
Joining us now, David Corn, the Washington bureau chief for Mother Jones, and an MSNBC political analyst, and Jonathan Capehart, an opinion writer for the Washington Post and an MSNBC contributor. He's also host of a new podcast called Cape Up. Jonathan, it strikes me as no surprise that David Duke is basically declaring that his running mate is Donald Trump.
Right, not at all a surprise. I mean, what Donald Trump has done is taken the David Duke message, blown it out of Louisiana, and put it not only on the national stage for people to talk about and consider, but turned it into the nomination, the Republican nomination for president. And so because David Duke had someone out there, spouting his beliefs with a national megaphone, he decided, hey, let me come out of retirement and run for Senate.
If you think the Benghazi committees might have been a little bit out of control, listen to David Duke tonight talking about Hillary Clinton.
Look at Trump and the neocons. We have a cabal in this government that literally controls our foreign policy. Syria is a country with 3 million Christians. Syria is a secular government, non-jihadist. It was just admitted by Clinton that our government's been supporting Saudi Arabia, which she admits was supporting ISIS. The lady should be getting the electric chair, being charged with treason.
David Corn, I can't even think of a question.
Well, what Donald Trump has done is normalize a little kinder, gentler version of David Dukeism. Trumpism is very much like Dukeism. Look at what he's done. He gave a speech recently which he railed against the conspiracy of international bankers. That used to be code words for Jewish people. And tonight, throughout the debate, David Duke has railed against Jewish people. Donald Trump said we should keep Muslims out of this country. This sort of arch bigotry, which David Duke and the KKK and all the white supremacists are all for. Paul Ryan, the #1 elected Republican in the land, said that Donald Trump was making racist comments when he called a federal judge a Mexican because his parents came from Mexico. So you have racism, bigotry, and hints of anti-Semitism, all in things that Donald Trump has said during this campaign. So it's no wonder that David Duke said, I see an opportunity here.
Yeah, Donald Trump's lock her up, she should be in jail, to David Duke translates to she should be getting the electric chair.
Well, don't forget that some of Trump's key supporters have called for Hillary Clinton to be killed, and Barack Obama too.
Let's listen to David Duke talking about Jewish people.
Do we?
I'm not opposed to all Jews. I think there's a lot of great Jews. In fact, a lot of Jews I honor. But let me tell you something. I'm against Jews or anybody else that puts the interest of some other place, another country, over our own country, that is controlling and dominating the media, which is teaching black people and inspiring black people to hate white people and inciting them to violence, like the Black Lives Matter, which has been supported by the media.
Has expired.
That's my issue.
Jonathan Capehart, that has been his issue for a long time.
Yes, it's like the golden oldies with David Duke. Back to his original playlist. I mean, look, the idea that he got 5.1% in a poll that allowed him to be on that stage and to spout so much rage, so much venom, says a lot about where the country hopefully isn't going, where the Republican Party seems to be, where its nominee has made it possible for someone like David Duke, who we all thought had gone off, slithered off, and taken his hate with him elsewhere, figured that it was fine to pop back up. I mean, I watched parts of the debate, not the entire debate, because there's only so much rage and hate I can deal with in any one day. But the idea that this man has a platform and he's standing on a stage with other people who very well might be infinitely more capable to be a senator from the great state of Louisiana, the fact that he's sharing the stage with them is really, I mean, Lawrence, I'm almost at a loss for words here, what this means for the country.
And the Trump campaign has had some real screaming anti-Semites in its audience and at its rallies. Let's look at this guy at a Trump event yesterday in Miami, a Trump supporter yelling at protesters yesterday, and the press yelling at the media yesterday. Let's listen to this.
You're an embarrassment to your profession. You're an embarrassment to your own profession. You fell out for a few shekels. For a few shekels, you fell out.
David Corn, you sell out for a few shekels. That's a Trump supporter.
And there was a Trump supporter shouting "Jew-SA, Jew-SA" at the media pen at a Trump event a couple days back. You know, what we see with David Duke here, though, there is an extremism within the Republican base itself. Some polls show a majority view of Republicans believed in the birther conspiracy, which I would call a racist notion, believe in the Muslim ban, supported, which I would call an act of bigotry, and also believe that Obama is not a Christian, he's a Muslim, probably because he's black. And so the Republican Party has played footsie with this form of hatred. I think they fueled it, they've encouraged it, and Donald Trump certainly is exploiting it, if not encouraging it. And, Duke, while it was at 5%, the fact that these other notions are majority positions within the Republican Party and that Donald Trump is close to perhaps being elected president shows that there is a lot of racism, hatred, and bigotry out there that the Republican Party is using as fuel.
David Corn and Jonathan Capehart, thank you both for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Lawrence.